Hello, I've been studying Dynamics Customer Insights for a couple weeks now and thought it was time to give an overview of the system, just real briefly. So I'll take a couple minutes here, give an overview. Hopefully this is valuable to everybody out there in the community. This is new stuff for me. I can't really find it anywhere, so hopefully this is providing value. So here we go. I'm going to jump into screen share onto my second screen here. So when we jump into Customer Insights, we're going to start on the home page, which you can see just some high-level things about insights, potential interest, potential brands. This is all enrichment items that's available from Dynamics or from Microsoft that they provide into look into your data. We can segment out our data into different segments, and they have that listed here as well. Right now we're using the demo data, which I think shows a little bit better than some of the data that I have access to. So from the beginning, this is a general overview of the home, but if we drill down onto the data sources, we can see that we have a connection to Dynamics data or the Common Data Service. And then we have connections into several different locations that are all within Azure, an Azure blob. So everything data-wise in Customer Insights needs to be in the same tenant of the Microsoft Cloud. So that could be, once again, the Common Data Service for Dynamics, or really a related Azure blob location. So let me jump over here real fast and show in another example, a proof of concept that I am working on. I have these 5 data elements that I'm working on, and they are all in my Azure blob, and I'm able to get to them in this instance or tenant of Dynamics. So moving on from there, once we have our data, we need to unify it. And that's a process of matching the different data or mapping the different data together and then matching it to each other, choosing a common element to match with. And then you can merge some of the data with each other so that you only have one first name field, one last name field. In this situation, you can see that there's 3 first name fields, and they're merging that into one field for those 3 items. So beyond that, once we have all that merged, mapped, matched, and merged, then we can have our overview of customer records. So this is all created after that process happened, and we can see that we have many different customers that are a part of that data. And if we drill down on any one, we can get more information about Daniel here, for instance, all his information from Dynamics, some timeline with his Dynamics activities, some of his potential interests and brands, churn risk, total spend, different items that we're looking for in Customer Insights. So a lot of that is driven off of the enrichment, and enrichment is some data that Microsoft gives us with interest around, interests and brands and things I've already mentioned before. But if we drill down in here, maybe this will make a little more sense. Now they are choosing to look for in the data Microsoft and GitHub and LinkedIn and Xbox and Skype and all these different interest items over here, like luxury cars and dental health. So it's scouring or searching the data for these items and then giving feedback through the AI in this system. Oh, and then also the different fields that feed the enrichment are date of birth, gender, then items about city and state and zip code. If you have data in the Common Data Service, you can get predictions too on missing data. So you may have missing zip codes or any number of missing data items. And if you have it in the Common Data Service, it can go through and make some of those predictions for you. As we saw before, we can segment out our data. So they've chosen to segment through 4 different items 4 different segments of data for high spend or average spend, high churn, sorry, the customer open cases, all customers, and customers that gave a low review score. Kind of similarly, we can also have measures. So these measures are calculations on the data, basically kind of a formula on how to get new analysis out of the data. So this one in particular is number of online purchases or total online spend. We can see we have several of these, and we can use those in analyzing the data as well. So I think really kind of the last little bit of the overview here, we went through the customers, the segments, the measures, some of the intelligence, the data sources, unifying the data. We can enrich the data. We talked about that. The activities are where we can get activities out of Dynamics and show those in here in the customer insights and get insights off those activities. And then there's also the admin section, which just allows us to change some administration things in customer insights. I'm going to drill down on each one of these a little bit more in future posts, but I wanted to get a kind of a baseline out there and give an overview of the system. So thanks for your time today, and look forward to for you guys to look at my posts in the future. Thanks.